Xiaohua always has some white liquid secreted on her body, and there's a smell of bad breath. The classmates hate her very much. There was even a boy who washed her hair for her. She could only cry in her seat. Her childhood sweetheart asked me to help her, and I just said a word. All the classmates who bullied Xiaohua stood in a line to apologize. It turns out that this is a world where the beast is rampant. In order to fight the beast, humans have developed two evolutionary routes. One is a mechanical transformation. By technology, the body is strengthened. The other is a gene fusion, through the fusion of the beast genes to obtain their ability. And I was reborn as a baby. After accumulating climbing legs 10,000 times, I gained the ability to use all my legs. As long as you stick to a certain part of your body, that part can be infinitely strengthened. So I learned to climb for only 4 months. I can walk by myself for 5 months. In the 6th month, I started to watch the news with my parents. Not long after, a new neighbor moved in next door. They have a cute daughter named Shen Qinghan. She became my first friend in this world. But I didn't know at that time, in the future, our fates will be closely connected. When I was 7 months old, I could already run and jump. I can jump 1/2 meter high. I also started to practice speaking in a learning language. In 8 months, I can do 200 sit-ups and push-ups. Of course, I secretly practiced it while my parents were not paying attention. But today, I was accidentally hit by my mother. She rubbed her eyes and thought it was an eye flower. At that time, I was pretending to sleep soundly. She was wondering that it must be because I had an illusion of writing a male-dominated novel recently. As a result, a week later, my mother found that I had 8 abs when she was bathing me. She panicked and called my father. My father responded seriously. Genshin really has a lot of gold. Now I have abs. I understand my wife. Is our son a rare talent? I let my breath go. I almost leaked. Fortunately, my father gave me a genius personality. It's really lucky to have a pair of parents who write novels. In fact, there are more than one genius in this world. Today, it was reported on TV that there were 2-year-old children born with supernatural powers in the Wudao family in Chengdu for 1,000 years. A single hand can lift 20 kilograms of dumbbells. My mother touched my head and said with love, "My Chen is also very good. I will definitely not lose to them in the future." I was so beautiful in my heart. My mother was so accurate. Can I lift 20 kilograms with one hand when I'm 2 years old? My mother outside the door suddenly shouted, "Chen, Han-Han's sister came to play with you." She scared me. I walked out with my shoulders. I only saw Han-Han's little hand holding an egg tart for me to eat. Although we are only 2 years old, the mental gap is a bit big, but we always like to stick together. Let her be my weight-hanging sword, just right. The only problem is that this hanging sword sometimes leaks. I can only shout, "Han, seems like half again." When I was 3 years old, I could lift 40 kilograms with one hand, and that Jingdao Shentong was only able to lift 30 kilograms at the age of 4.5. I watched the system panel sink into the dust. The level of biology is still at the ordinary level. Will the ordinary second level surpass the human limit? Out of curiosity, I walked out of the house for the first time. I saw the gene fusionist and the mechanical modifier with my own eyes. And my destination I chose was the library, because my parents didn't let me touch more electronic products. I read the relevant books. I really realized the cruel worldview of this mutated Earth. The ancient stone monument records that biology is divided into 6 levels, from ordinary to legendary. Each level is also divided into 9 stages. Ordinary humans are just the lowest ordinary level. In front of a high-level creature, even an ant is inferior. I have to speed up to survive in this world. This is a new task sent by the system. Accumulate 100 million words to read. Reward for obtaining biological attributes. What are you thinking about? Now I can learn both literature and martial arts. When I was 4 years old, My reading capacity had reached more than 40 million words, and I also started going to kindergarten. I just got to kindergarten, I managed to upgrade to the ordinary second level. I could lift 80 kilograms with one hand, jump 1.2 meters in place. I ran 7.98 meters in the Bai mud. Under the guidance of natural people, I even finished all the courses in elementary school by myself. After entering elementary school, I won the competition easily. But my real goal was to light the title of Kindergarten King. Usually in school, I helped Shen Qinghan to make up for classes when I have time. Although he is not very talented, he is clever and hardworking. In a semester, he ranked second in the whole class. And of course, I was the first. In addition to studying, I also actively participated in the school sports meet. I broke all the records. Just when I thought that elementary life would be so full, a special transfer student came to the class, Bai Xue. Because I sensed a trace of inhuman atmosphere from him, I don't know if it's a gene fusion or his offspring. Bai Xue always comes and goes alone and doesn't communicate with others. I'm afraid that I won't move on the table after class. He even rarely goes to the toilet. At first, everyone was curious, but then they got used to it. Until more than a month later, some white liquid with smell students began to dislike him. A boy even poured water on his head. "I'm nice, I'll help you wash." Bai Xue cried bitterly. Other classmates were laughing. Han pulled my corner and said, "He's so pitiful. I hope you can help him." Although I didn't figure out Bai Xue's background, he's just a bullied little girl now. I walked over and put my hand on the boy's shoulder. I wiped the water on Bai Xue's table. He was scared and ran away. After all, I'm good at both literature and martial arts at school. Even the 6th grade students dare not mess with me. I said goodbye to the whole class. All the people who bullied Bai Xue now line up to apologize. A few classmates were scared and stood in a row to bow. "Sorry, we were wrong. Please forgive us." Bai Xue was warm in his heart. "Thank you for helping me with me and Han." From that day on, Han took the initiative to approach him. Pull me to be friends with him. I'll share the good food with him. Bai Xue couldn't help asking, "I'm so ugly. Don't you dislike me?" "I'm sorry, I don't disbelieve you, but no one has ever been willing to get close to me since I was a kid. So the first time someone was with me, it was like a dream to me." Han smiled and said, "This is not a dream. I used to pee in bed when I was a kid, so I will never dislike you. As long as you are willing, we will always be good friends." Bai Xue hugged him with emotion. Tears can't stop flowing. "Thank you." What did he suddenly think of? He took off a beetle necklace from his neck. "This is my mother's birthday present for you. I hope you don't dislike it. I hope we will always be good friends." Han shook his hand solemnly. "We will always be good friends." Just when we thought that this friendship would last forever, an accident happened. One day, I was at the door of the principal's office. I saw a mechanical modifier helping Bai Xue with the transfer procedure. The principal said his information was completely confidential. It seems that his identity is really not simple. Since then, we never saw Bai Xue again. Maybe he's just a passerby in our childhood. Compared to Bai Xue's departure, what happened next really made me crazy. That day, I was kneading my shoulders for my mother as usual. I saw the news that TV broadcast the godchild of Jingdu. He was 10 years old and successfully integrated a gene. One hand could lift 1,000 caddies. I was stunned. The gene was integrated so quickly. After the integration, the weight was doubled directly, but I was only 8 years old. Before the integration, I could lift 300 kilograms with one hand. Such a pair is bigger than my potential. I was comforting myself. The next news made me cold. A serious beast attacked the world in Lingua. The witness took a picture of a disaster related to giant art. A beautiful woman was swallowed alive by a beast in front of the camera. What's more terrible is that there was a cult behind this incident. They are a group of anti-human madmen. In order to take advantage of the beast's walk, they made terror in human society. Fortunately, I was born in a strong country. The environment is quite stable. I can continue to grow up. Just when I was thinking, there was a sudden sound of air explosion outside the window. I opened the curtain and saw a lot of official mechanical modifiers flying in the air. The atmosphere was inexplicably tense. The next morning, I was waiting for Han to go to school downstairs. Suddenly, I found the beast tooth that Snow gave her was shining. I'm afraid the non-human aura on Snow came from this beast tooth. The light was quickly extinguished. I felt uneasy. I always felt that something was going to happen. Sure enough, when we passed by a street, a red-haired girl took the initiative to talk to us. "Two cute children? Are you brothers and sisters?" Han, this silly girl, didn't guard against it at all. The teacher answered, "We are childhood sweethearts." The girl said enviously, "I also want a childhood sweetheart." "You go to school by yourself at such a young age? What about mom and dad?" Han was about to speak. I pulled her away. I rushed to the school all the way. I told her seriously, "Don't hit strangers in the future." She nodded. When school was over, I deliberately took her around a remote alley to go home. Sure enough, I ran into that red-haired girl again. She was following us. I immediately protected Han behind me. The girl smiled. "Little friend, there is delicious food at my sister's house. Come home with me." A strong man behind her was impatient. He took a piece of cloth and came to us. He wanted to seduce us to sell money. I didn't run away with Han. Instead, I stood firm. I punched the strong man in the chest. He flew out. The girl's face changed. A primary school student can beat an adult? I didn't wait for him to react. I was in front of him. I knocked him down with a punch. I picked up a brick and was ready to walk to the alley. There was no cameras around here. If they told the truth, my ability would be exposed. The plan to become stronger was over. Suddenly, the ground began to shake violently. A giant rat rushed out from the bottom of the ground. I opened my mouth. I bit off half of my sister's body. The strong man was about to become his lunch. With my current strength, I couldn't beat him at all. I immediately picked up Han. I ran in the direction of the house. I didn't run far. A mechanical modifier flew into the sky. She was still a beautiful woman. She hovered in the air. First, she charged the weapon, then she raised her hand and fired a few shots of anesthetic bullets. The explosion quickly swallowed the giant rat. After the rat was weakened, she stayed in the body for 7 minutes before the battle ended. When I got home, I calmed down and analyzed it. This giant rat is 3 meters long. The biological level is at least ordinary. It's not what I can deal with now. I have to increase my training intensity. The new project is heavy and deep. Soon, Han and I welcomed our 9th birthday. After blowing out the candles, we gave each other gifts. I gave her a wooden hair clip. It's what I learned to carve with Tianren Hui for a night. She likes it very much. I graduated from primary school in a blink of an eye. I successfully lighted up the nickname of the primary school bully. Only the junior high school bully king can get the next biological property weak and strong. I haven't relaxed at all during the whole vacation. I trained hard every day. I can do 1,000 heavy push-ups casually. Finally, the day before the school started, I managed to break through to the ordinary 3. The properties of the body have been greatly improved. I'm also more and more confident in the future. That night, the TV broadcasted the news of the divine child in the capital. At the age of 14, he can already hold 2,000 kg alloy in one hand. But I know this is the result of the fusion distance with the gene. The actual increase is 4 to 8 times. Even if it is calculated in 4 times, its original strength is only 400 kg. And I haven't merged yet. It's far beyond this member. If I also do gene fusion in the future, I'm really looking forward to that scene. The next day, my junior high school life officially began. Because when I was in elementary school, I was already a top student in the whole city. Several top middle schools wanted me. In the end, I chose Senhai Middle School. The condition is that Shen Qinghan must be in the same school as me. On the day of the new student report, the principal and the headmaster came to meet me on purpose. He told me to help the school more in the future. I found an excuse to slip away. In fact, it was because the sports field of Senhai Middle School is too dirty. I had already made an appointment with Han. I'm going to play badminton on the first day of school. I didn't expect to play for a few minutes. A high school boy came to stop me. "New one, this field is ours." The other two guys also said to Han with a smile, "Junior sister can stay. Brothers can play with you in turn." I can't stand this temper. "You guys stay away from him. First come, first serve. I don't need to teach this rule." The boy in charge is arrogant. What the hell is the rule? I'm in charge of this field today. I'm too lazy to talk nonsense. Throw out the feather ball in your hand. One shot. My rule is the rule. The speed of the ball is fast. I hit his racket and hat in an instant. The three of them were stunned on the spot. Their legs were weak. Is this still a human? Genetic fusion. If I had fought a little bit earlier, I'm afraid the boss's head would bloom. A few people immediately stood in a row to bow and apologize. Then they ran away. Later, this is estimated to have spread. No one dares to bully us in the whole middle school. I've already finished my junior high school course. I basically read the books I like in class. After exercise at night, I will also learn various new skills online. Photography, cooking, science and technology, swimming, wilderness survival, etc. It's very fast to go to school in Tenyanhui and Jiaqi. I want to light up the title of Junior High School Bully King. Not only is KK the first in the school, but also on behalf of the school to participate in the national competition. I took a punch in the medal of math and programming, but I'm more restrained. No right to take the first place. A semester has passed. The title hasn't been lit up, but I got a bunch of fans because I was too good. But I didn't care about them at all. In addition to helping Han to make up the class, I focused on the school sports festival. I think the school sports festival can definitely light up the title. This time, I only reported the 3 elements of long jump, high jump, and short run. They represent the power, bounce, and speed. As long as you get these, it's equal to a full-fledged sports bully king. I always take it in the game. It's easy to get the first place. When I got all the medals, a sudden force came out of my body. System prompted. The title of Junior High School Bully King has been lit up. I have completed my 9 years of compulsory education, obtaining biological properties, weak and strong. At that time, my life source was at an all-time low. It can devour the life source of other creatures, promote its self-purification. On the way to school, I was thinking about what the life source meant. I suddenly thought about Han's beast tooth. I asked her to take it off and show it to me. Who knew? I just got it. The system reminds me, devour a life source of deep abyss. The projection progress is 1%. It turns out that when the projection reaches 100%, it can purify the part of the beast, attributes or skills. I'm a little surprised that this is a butterfly's tooth. Go back and check it out. But I can't find any information. It seems that the secret of this kind of beast can only be unlocked by myself. I suddenly remembered that Bai Xue gave me 2 beast tooth. Find another steel hander from the bag. The system reminds me again. Devour a life source of deep abyss. The projection progress is 2%. It seems that the remaining life source in the beast tooth is not much. If you want to unlock it completely, you have to find another way. The next day after school, I started riding my bicycle to take Han to school. Exercise the body. In case there's a danger, I can take her to run. Passing by the playground, Mr. Gore of the school's martial arts team called me. Your school is the best in the history of the school. Sports talent is better than learning. Join the martial arts team. He didn't give me a chance to refuse. Then he said, come to the sports hall. C15 team base camp. I'll wait for you. As soon as I got home, I found mosquitoes and cockroaches to fight.
The result did not trigger the effect of weak meat and strong properties. It seems that only strong beasts have enough life source to devour me. To verify this guess, I took Qinghan to a large supermarket in the city center that sells beast meat. There are a lot of beasts here, but they are sealed. If you don't touch it directly, you can't eat it at all. When I was worried, I saw a master cutting a fresh beast meat. I immediately opened my eyes. I asked Qinghan to wait for me here. I went to touch that piece of meat. He was a little fierce, but I couldn't care about the explanation because the truth was right in front of me. I touched the
Closest piece of beast meat. A huge amount of life sources flowed into the body. Qinghan was curious and came over. What does this meat feel like? Is it different from ordinary meat? I pretended to be calm. No, it's fresher. Why don't you touch it? Since I'm here, I decided to buy some and try it. Qinghan was surprised at the price. The cheapest ghost meat cost 99.8 billion jin. He whispered to me that it was too expensive. Why don't you ask the aunt first? I smiled and touched his head. Don't worry, my mother has already paid me. He said he would make a big meal for the two families. In fact, what I'm really worried about is whether the absorption of life sources will make the meat deformed. I bought 3 jin. There are 2,994 pieces in total. It's precious to complain. I don't know when I can buy it again. On my way back, I couldn't help it. I secretly put my hand in the bag and touched a small piece of beast meat. The system reminds me that I swallowed a bit of life source of the ghost beast. The projection progress is 0.1%. According to this calculation, it takes 100 jin to save the horse. It costs a total of 100,000 yuan. But when I think of its ability, it is as good as disappearing in the water. I think this investment is not a loss. This is when I suddenly found out that the meat was not deformed. Is it possible that the absorption of life sources will not destroy the meat? So I swallowed the rest of the meat. The projection progress is 3%, but I only care about absorbing life sources. I almost hit a passerby. But why are there so many people on the bike lane? It turned out to be our kindergarten teacher, Mr. Strawberry. He was being kidnapped by a crazy man. Several security guards are persuading him, but the bandit is very professional. He always uses hostages as cover. No one dares to shoot easily. The situation is critical. I picked up a rock and threw it out. The rock flew over the captain's eyes with a broken sound, accurately hit the bandit's hand. He screamed. The sound of the blade fell to the ground. The members rushed up quickly to control him. Mr. Strawberry was saved. He looked at me with a cold face. The rock was you just now. I told him not to make a sound. But before we left, the security captain asked loudly with the rock, "Are you the one who threw it?" I don't want to be bothered by the follow-up. He said, "I didn't throw it." Then he ran away with a cold face. The security captain didn't know what to do. Some people did good things but didn't want to admit it. But I suddenly remembered that there was a reward for being brave. So I turned around and admitted that I lost the rock because I really need this money. We told our parents that we were going to the police station to make a statement. The first bucket of gold in my life was about to arrive. But the accident happened again. The bandit's face suddenly cracked. The bloodstain turned red. His body began to form an art. He rushed to a female security guard. The scene was in a mess. The security captain ordered to shoot. He called the headquarters. There was a huge art in Janbei Zilu Park. The preliminary judgment is that it is a gene that integrates the Rat King. He asked for reinforcements. I picked up Qinghan and Teacher Strawberry. I fled to a safe place. I happened to meet the mechanical modifier who came to support me. She flew into the art. She kicked it a few meters away. Then she began to shoot. The energy bubble gathered a dazzling purple light. In the next second,
A terrifying purple light beam was shot. The art was instantly extinguished. I looked at the wooden bag. It was too strong. Fortunately, it didn't blow up my bike. Otherwise, it would be a big loss. I went back to the god to check the beast. Then I found that they didn't know when it changed. It seems that after absorbing the life sources, the time for the meat to decompose will be slower. I threw the meat on the ground and shouted loudly. It's all because of the god. The robot attacked too hard. The meat was roasted. I was going to go home directly, but the captain insisted that we go to the police station to finish the report. In the car, I looked at the burnt and pierced art corpse. I don't know if it has any residual life sources. I suddenly had a bold idea. Can we swallow the rat king gene of the corpse? I quietly touched it. Sure enough, it worked. The system reminds me to swallow a piece of the life source of the giant art. The projection progress is 5%. It grows so much at once. It seems that fresher meat is more absorbable.